notice, and it behooves looking at. Whether you want to accept it would be a matter of your own taste. A lot of taste goes into this, but if you do accept it, I think we're talking about this attack here. Because I don't think at this point that the righteous teacher or the righteous one is killed. And it's important, people don't understand there are two attacks, one in which James is injured, and another in 62 where he's stoned. But the later one is led not by the liar and his confederates. The later one is led by the wicked priest. That is, by the wicked priest responsible for the death of James. I'll just quickly end up here by showing you that the text starts again. Hear now all you who enter the covenant, and I will unstop your ears. And then we get, some of you folks are here from Kabbalah. God loves knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Da'at, Chokhmah, and Bina. So we have it right here in the Damascus document, your Chabad code names here. The Da'at, Chokhmah, and Bina right here. God loves knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. If you know Chabad means Chokhmah, Bina, and Da'at. They've just turned it around from here. It's the reverse, but it's in here exactly. And then they start a new presentation of the history of Israel. We've had one presentation of the history of Israel, ending in the attack on the righteous teacher or the righteous one, some very severe attack on him and his followers. We then get another one that starts and goes all the way through the whole history of Israel. And this leads us in 2-3 columns up to column 4, where we start moving into the key passages in this document, which are the 3 nets of Belial: fornication, riches, and pollution of the temple. I'm really going to have to take up that some other time or next time or continue next station. It's late enough for you guys, and I appreciate your patience. It's an open ball game here. Everyone sees it with their own perspective. I have just built up the data, and I'm just using the Damascus document here. I assume you can go and read my book, James the Just, and the Habakkuk commentary, where I take every passage in the Habakkuk commentary and relate it to the events relating around the life, the little we know about James. Now, you may want to try that with some other character, but I don't think you'll succeed as well, that's all. Sure, it's very possible that we have a whole totally different sociological situation here, but if we do have, then you've got to go do some fancy stepping to put it in some historical context that might be familiar to somebody. Because, as I said originally, I think this is a major movement within Judaism. I don't think it escaped the observation of the contemporary historians. It's just that our understanding of it is defective, given that the literature that we have relating to it went through a lot of redaction process that tended to mythologize and change some of the meaning of it. Now we have the authentic documents from this movement, and I think it is a very, as I said, a very substantial one, and did not escape our observers. You have to remember, we know probably more about the 1st century BC and the 1st century AD than we know about in Palestine, thanks to our friend Josephus, than we know just about any contemporary period from the ancient world. I mean, if you try to think of what you know about the 6th century AD and the 7th century AD in Palestine, or in Italy, for instance, I mean, your knowledge is almost going to be void, because we don't have the data to support it. We don't even have data from the Bar Kokhba period, because we don't have Josephus. Forget the Talmud and the New Testament and all the other documents we have from the 1st century, and now the Qumran text. We have a massive amount of material from the 1st century period that has survived miraculously. So, I mean, it may help or hinder us, but you want to start putting this in some other period or some other sociological context, I think you got to try to identify what that is.
Well, Qumran as a society, though, was defined by the community rule, and people have these weird habits that are ascribed to the people who lived here. I'm sorry. Oh, up in the Kibbutz, So, but that society had to be more, it had to have started before this. It had to have gone after, James. In other words, these people came together for a life in the desert for their way. Their movement started long before.
I don't know what they did here. Who said that's conventional theory you're giving me? I don't know anything about what went on here at Qumran. I don't know what they were doing here. I don't know when they started here. I don't know when they stopped here. I don't know anything about Qumran at all. I just know these texts. And these texts give me some interesting doctrines that I'm familiar with from other sources. far as what went on here, people in little white jackets, that's where Paul Mazursky to give us in his film. But I don't know. I don't know what these people were doing here. I don't know how long they were here. I know one thing, that water didn't come down very often, and I don't believe that life was sustainable here in dry periods. So if they were here for a long period of time, I don't know what they did when there was a dry period. They must have walked someplace else, because they couldn't survive in this place in a very prolonged dry period. I don't think they could keep their cisterns full.
Jack, he traces the roots way back.
I'm sorry?
Bob's books trace the roots of the movement long before James.
Now, what were you going to say, Hanan? What did you want to say? Yeah, did you have your hand up? Someone else had their hand up here. Who else? You have your hand up, man. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
James, if I understand correctly, is the brother of Jesus.
I don't know that.
You don't know?
He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be.
I see, because it's...
I first have to know who Jesus is before I know who his brother was, but go ahead.
Okay, because it's sort of strange that will be so much importance to the teacher of righteousness as James, and no reference to Big Brother.
Not necessarily. You're just looking at it from the conventional text that you have at the present time. And you're
in the Western world. Why should you?
No, but your texts are telling you that the other brother is the important one. They may not have thought that. We have to look at the world as they see it. You're looking for stuff in their text